Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for XRP. Now in this video, I'm going to start on the daily time frame, move down to the smaller time frames. But if you're new here, we were tracking this as a contracting triangle since late spring, early summer. And what that looks like, idealized, is this top left. It's a 5-wave pattern, 3-wave moves, contracting trend lines until we reach an E wave as labeled as our termination point, and we get trend continuation after. So it looks like A, B, C, D, E. We then get trend continuation after as our confirmation. This is what it looks like in real time, A, B, C, D, E. Our confirmation there, we're on the right count, was the break of this trend line, as you can see, and we just get explosion at the end. That's how triangles perform. That's how you know that you were on the right track. Now, one thing I want to note is I get asked all the time about final targets. And just to be clear, it's such a wide range, it's almost impossible to predict at this moment. The way this triangle works is we are within this structure still, and we're expecting a move to the upside as a 5th wave to complete this 5-wave move, if labeled correctly, and then a correction after that, right? So there's a bunch of different ways to measure this. First can be the length of wave 1 off of wave 4. That only gets us just a new high at 380. That's one way you can measure it. We can also get a 1.618 extension of wave 1 off of wave 4, which takes us up to $15.74. We can also get a 618 extension of wave 1 off of wave 4, which gets us up to $30. If we do a triangle thrust, that gets us to about that $15. So if I were to say right now, I would say somewhere between 380 and 1580 would be my ideal area. But there's another kicker to this. I want this to happen in a reasonable amount of time to have the right look to belong to this 5-wave move. All right, so it's not like I want to see it drift sideways for a year and a half or 2 years and still expect that move. That would be a change of my expectation. I need it to happen within the next, I would say, 3 to 6 months is where I want to see this target hit, and I want to see a nice 5-wave move complete to be able to call a top, all within this range, right? So, yeah, maybe not what you wanted to hear, but it's the truth. So that's what I'm going with. So we're going to go to the smaller time frames, and within this 5-wave move, the final 5-wave move, we're looking for a 5-wave pattern. Now I have multiple counts I'm currently tracking. So that's our E wave low, start of our wave 5. We're looking for a 5-wave move to complete. Somewhere between all-time high and that like $15-ish area is what I'm looking for. And we will be able to pull those fib extensions as we create this pattern. So first of all, this is my primary count. We'll go down to the smaller time frames. Started with a wave 1 and 2, where this is a flat, very long correction. And we completed our 3rd wave in white, currently within a 4th wave in white, looking for a 5th wave. Mid-correction right now, I would say. And from this point, we're looking for another correction for a wave 2, and then finally our big explosive move for our 3rd wave. If this is a true impulse, we're going to all-time highs. We haven't had the huge explosive move yet, just to be clear. In this scenario, it hasn't happened yet. We need to get to price discovery and see how much push we can get. Now, as labeled as such, we need to wait for this 4th wave to complete. And what we look for in 4th waves is triangles, flats, but important to note, we want to hold above this 50%. So guidelines for 4th waves is we usually hold between the 236, 382 is your normal DCA pricing to enter, and your stop past the 50. Now, we're already past the 236 on linear scale, so technically this might be as low as we come, especially in extremely bullish markets. So I'm still waiting for a completed pattern. I think we're about halfway through. Reason being is we came so deep. Excuse me. we came so deep on this last move right here. I don't think that a wave is all the correction we get. It doesn't mean we have to come lower, but I don't see an impulsive move here. This looks like a correction so far. So the way this can pan out, we can make running flat if we come up here. And then after that, we get a quick 5-wave move to complete a C wave. Then we get our trend continuation for our 5th wave. Or we can turn this into a triangle B wave, come down a little lower, then continue to the upside. But it's important to note, 4th waves, I always say this in the Discord, are one of the toughest to trade in real time. And your best bet is either DCAing with your stop past the 50 until you're confident you have the right count. So if you get this and this, you can get confident over here that we're making a flat. If we get this, 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 you might consider it a triangle and adjust your strategy based on that, right? So until we get a completed pattern, you're in the middle of kind of a no trade zone until you get a completed pattern, at least in Elliott wave terms. So based on if the low is in now, I think we need more time, but I'll just give you an example here. What I would look for is the length of wave 1 off of the current wave 4. So our 5th wave in white would be about 221 right now. And that's when we would expect a correction and then continuation to the upside. But I'll be tracking this in real time until we get that. Right now, just waiting for the next move to the upside. I'm currently hedged on this. I got in down near this area. I have a pretty good position size. I'm just waiting for this to complete so I can take off my hedge and leave it long. Now, my alternative count, I mentioned this last time as well, is we might end up going higher, and this is where we just have a 1-2-1-2, even though this was a very ugly 5-wave move, rather than a 1-2 like this, right? So in this scenario, we have nested 1-2s, and I would expect this 3rd wave is not yet complete in this scenario, and our 3rd wave would come to our extension, 3.618 extension at around 205, in which case we'd look for a 4th and then a 5th to the upside. Now, this is the one I would prefer to happen, even though it's my alternative currently because of the ugliness of this wave 5. This is where we could go parabolic in this 5th wave, as in where you think the 5th wave is ending is just our 1 and 2 of the 5th wave, right? And that's where we can go parabolic to those like $15 targets. And to be clear, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that's what I would be looking for. And I have strategies to stay involved in that market. One of the hardest things to do if it is a true alt season is staying in the market when you get very few pullbacks. It's very difficult, especially if you're looking at risk reward. You have a special set of expectations you need to reach, at least say like a 2-to-1 risk reward to enter. And if you don't get those pullbacks, it makes it difficult. So in this scenario right now, if wave 4 held, that would take us to about 190, where this would be a wave 5 for a pullback for our wave 4. So, but you can see both ways we're expecting a move to the upside and a pullback after. The only difference is how deep, right? Is it a wave 4 or is it a wave 2? It makes a slight difference. So to me right now, I'm just waiting, and I would expect either a B wave up to our B and X zone, which is taken from the beginning of this move to the downside, between 172 and 178, then a matching leg as the first move to the downside, then continuation. Or this comes a little bit lower, makes some sort of flat pattern here, and we make another move to the downside before moving to the upside. But for all trades, my suggestion, not financial advice, is to not hold it past that 50%. I know it's quite far away, but that's kind of where we're at in this area, especially since we're expecting a move up, move down, and then continuation, right? There's a lot of chop here. It can eat you up if you don't know what you're doing and you're trying to get too cute with the market. It has a way of humbling people within corrections. So that's what I'm looking at for now, just more sideways until we get a completed correction. Now, if you want to join the Discord, I cover XRP every day, Monday to Friday, 5 videos a week, as well as 15 to 20 other assets you see me cover on YouTube. Also, you see that top left, there's a Blowfin exclusive. In the Discord, there's a link to give you 20% rebate on your trading fees for life if you sign up through that code. If you don't like the membership, you can cancel after a month and you get that rebate for life. There's also a 10% cash back. You can check the details of that in the link as well. And if you're not interested in the membership, you can get 5% rebate for life through the link in the description, plus the cashback bonus. All right, guys, this is my schedule for YouTube. I update once or twice a week if time allows. And yeah, that's it for this one. I'll see you guys on the next one.